mass shooting incident that has taken place in Sydney, Australia at the very popular global tourist destination of Bondi Beach. And I have a breaking news update coming in for you as we speak. We have now accessed the license of one of the shooters in behind this attack. His name has been identified as Naveed Akram, and he is a resident of 26 Browning Road in Bonnyrigg, NSW, New South Wales 2177. That is the license of one of the shooters, the driver's license there. A local resident of New South Wales of 29 Brown Road, and his name has been now identified as Naveed Akram. This is one of the two shooters who have now been neutralized by the New South Wales police in Bondi Beach area of Sydney, where this entire mass shooting incident undertook almost 2 hours ago now. It was about 7 p.m. Sydney time when this incident started on a calm evening at the Bondi Beach, where thousands of people were celebrating and enjoying a calm Sunday evening. And the local Jewish community members had in fact gathered for a Hanukkah festival for lighting of the first candle of the Hanukkah festivities. And subsequently, two gunmen opened fire at them indiscriminately. And the police of New South Wales in Australia and Sydney at the Bondi Beach responded, and they shot down both of those shooters. Now, Republic has exclusively accessed this driver's license that has been identified by the Australian authorities of one of the two shooters who was involved in this mass shooting. He has been identified as one Naveed Akram, who also happens to be a resident of New South Wales, the province of Australia, in Sydney, where this happened. And it is a local license based out of an address of New South Wales. And more details are emerging as the Israeli government has waded into this entire global live and breaking situation. Israeli foreign minister and Israeli president, both of them have squarely put the entire blame of this mass shooting on the Australian government, as Anthony Albanese's government comes under tremendous fire from the global Jewish community as well as Jewish community leaders in Australia, who are blaming the anti-Semitism and the rise of it over the last 2 years in Australia behind the shooting. They are attributing this mass shooting to a Hanukkah event of the local Jewish community that was being held at the Bondi Beach. And now we have officially accessed one of the driver's license of the two mass shooters who have been neutralized by the Sydney police, the New South Wales police at Bondi Beach. One of them has been identified as Naveed Akram. The Australian administration remains extremely tight-lipped. They are not yet saying anything about the motivation of the attackers or why this entire attack took place, but this is a live and breaking situation, as in fact even the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has also responded to it. I have a guest joining us live on the broadcast with us. Mr. Anand Tamboli is live with us. Sir, if you can hear me, this has become a global talking point now, with Israeli authorities blaming anti-Semitism and the rise of it under the Anthony Albanese administration behind this targeting of a Hanukkah event. Yet the Australian authorities are not speaking up yet. What we do know is both the killer shooters have been neutralized there, and one of them has been identified as one Naveed. So what's the latest that you have?
Latest is one of the gunmen was neutralized on the spot. The second person has identified Naveed Akram. He is a resident of Bonnyrigg, which is the place near Liverpool. He hasn't been arrested yet, but it's only a matter of time when he would be arrested, because he's already identified. Police are also, and not just police, but everybody is questioning that how the hell they have got a gun in the first place. They don't they are military-grade weapons. So that is definitely a concerning matter, because most of you would know that guns are banned in Australia. It's extremely difficult to get guns in Australia, and yet this is happening.
All right, and Mr. Tamboli, at the moment it is also a very breaking situation there. What we are now being told is that the official death toll has been reached, almost has crossed the 10 mark. 10 people have been confirmed by the New South Wales police there, 11 others injured. Is there any information that is coming in over the other injured and the situation of them, and whether this number is expected to rise or whether it will remain around the same mark, sir?
Unfortunately, that number might raise, because they have fired nearly 50 rounds of bullets. Out of 10 people who are victims, unfortunately, 2 of them are policemen. So 8 civilians, 2 policemen. There is a nearby hospital called St. Vincent Hospital where everybody has been taken, and some of them have been also taken to Westmead Hospital. A few of them are children.
Indeed, and is there any information? Yes, is there any information coming about the motivations of these attackers now that the information is being slowly revealed and the driver's license of one of the attacker now has been identified? Has the police confirmed what were the motivations behind this? Because the entire international community, especially the Israeli administration, has been blaming anti-Semitism as the root cause and the Hanukkah event there being the target. But Anthony Albanese, as we saw in his initial remarks after the attack, has called it distressing, but he has not attributed it to any cause or what could be the reason behind this attack.
Obviously, for right reasons, it would be speculative without going to the gunmen themselves. As what is speculative. That goes to a festival, and apparently, one of the gunmen's name is Naveed Akram. You would want to speculate. So maybe the case speculated through which we not been unless they find it in official statement coming out as to what was the motive. And that is why I think government officials as well as police are trying to avoid any remarks that are not substantiated at this stage.
Anand, if you can also tell us what's the situation right now in the rest of the city of Sydney. It is a very horrific attack that has happened on the Bondi Beach. For the viewers tuning in Republic and around the world, if you can explain us the significance of this location and why it could have been chosen, because it's such a popular tourist destination there. And in fact, it is always crowded and full of people, full of life. So why would this place be becoming one of the targets? And what's the situation right now across Sydney as New South Wales Police has advised everybody to steer clear of that area? Is there peace on other parts of the city as well, or is there a security concern there, and what's the situation on the ground?
No security concerns as of now, but every area has been under high alert because one of the gunmen is still on loose, and there might be another incident, like potential to have another incident. What the significance, as you asked for the area, is look, it's a summer season in Australia right now. It's a hot day. People obviously turn to beaches, and Bondi Beach is one of the most popular, crowded, and it's a multi-national location. A lot of people, even tourists, come in here. Given that it happened around 7:30, 7:45, it was still a daylight. Huge number of people were there on the beach, so it is easy target for gunmen to create mass panic when they target on such location, and the publicity is guaranteed. Most of the times, people who do such maniac incidents, most of the publicity create mass panic, and apparently they have succeeded in doing that. Even Harbour Bridge was closed.
Indeed, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a concerning and developing situation on the ground there. If you can also tell us about what's the situation at the Bondi Beach. At the moment, we had the live shot coming in. We see hundreds of police personnel and emergency responders also present on the ground zero. But in the interim, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also getting a breaking news update coming in. USA Secretary of State Marco Rubio has now also reacted on the entire situation. In fact, the breaking news detail is that the United States has now responded to this entire attack. Oh, beg your pardon, the UN Secretary General, in fact, has now reacted to this entire situation. Antonio Guterres has reacted to the Sydney shooting, and he has condemned the Sydney shooting. That's the latest coming in from the United Nations, which has now taken stock of this mass shooting that has taken place in Sydney. That's the latest, ladies and gentlemen. After Keir Starmer, now the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres also reacting. My colleague continues to report for us from Sydney on the moment. You were just telling us, Anand, about the situation on the ground there at Bondi Beach, and what is the situation, because the New South Wales Police is continuing to maintain that this is an active operation. What could be the concerns?
The entire Bondi Beach area has been, there are nearly 30, 40 police vehicles, ambulances, and emergency vehicles on the location. So most of the roads going to and from Bondi Beach have been either under surveillance or cordoned off already. The nearest hospital, as I said, St. Vincent Hospital, where majority of the casualties or wounded victims are being taken. Apparently, this is also the place which is closest to incident which happened last year in April, where one of the madmen with money entered a shopping center and also threatened and killed a few people. So apparently this area is one of the areas where people would target to create mass panic.
Indian and Anand, stay with us as more reactions from world leaders come in now. EU President Ursula von der Leyen has also reacted to the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read out that statement as we put in more information. At the moment, the EU president has now reacted, and she has said that she is shocked by the tragic attack at the Bondi Beach, and she has sent her heartfelt condolences, saying that Europe stands with Australia and the Jewish communities there. Anand, stay with us and tell us about the reactions coming in. We saw the Jewish community members there also in Australia raising concern, and they have spoken about anti-Semitism and the rise of it over the last 2 years. If you can break it down for us about the concerns regarding the anti-Semitism that were on the rise in Australia. We have seen on the other parts of the country there in Australia, Khalistani extremism also on the rise at multiple places. Hindu temples have been targeted in the past, and Indian embassies and consulates have been on the attack. But at the same time, now the international community is taking note of rising anti-Semitism in Australia, which now remains to be a major cause of concern and is now becoming a major headline globally. Anand.
Every time the incidents have happened, whether it's a community related incident, it is anti-Semitism, most of the community leaders have come forward immediately and raised it to authorities and officials. But at the same time, they have also tried to get the community. It's a highly sensitive situation, and people do get hot-headed and may